maybe even thousands of people at your shows. And sometimes there are only 5. 2 are your parents, 1 is your roommate, and the other 2 is a couple that you're pretty sure accidentally showed up early to the event. So now they're listening to you. This was me last spring. My partner and I were performing at an event, and in our set we included a song that I had recently written called Frame of Mind. I was about halfway through singing the song when I saw the woman I didn't know in the audience start crying. She quickly started to wipe away the few tears before anyone saw. But I saw, and I watched her continue to tear up throughout the rest of the song. And then the song was over, the audience of 5 clapped, and it was on to the next song. I will always remember that performance. I was singing about what it's like as a girl growing up and the ways in which you're treated simply because you're female, ways that generations of women before me have fought against, fought to change, and are still fighting today. Through this one 3-minute and 30-second song, that woman in the audience and I shared the experience of that fight together, in spite of our age difference. She listened and uncovered the depth of the message that was wrapped up in my song, and she cried. I will likely never see her again, but in that moment, we were fighting that fight together. I believe that part of my responsibility as an artist is to start difficult conversations through my music, to find and say, well, sing actually, the hard words. Music is part of how I fight for what I believe in, and I believe that it can be a part of your fight too. I had no idea the impact that this song would have on my artistic identity when I wrote it. It was really my first take on what I've called songwriting for social advocacy. So looking back at it all, I'd like to tell you the story of my song, break the elusive or intimidating songwriting process down into simple steps, and demonstrate how you, too, can be a part of the process. Usually the first step is when you may have already done, brainstorm. Brainstorm about social issues that speak to you. Which of these issues are you most passionate about, and why are you so passionate about them? It could be feminism, or it could be a reggae song about coral bleaching, like a student I taught recently. Chances are you'll write a more impactful song if it's about something you want or even need to write about. Just like in my case, 2 years ago, when I came home from class after a whole lot of mansplaining and knew I needed to write this song. I'm blessed to have grown up in a family where I was told never to limit myself or question my worth or abilities because I was female. And even still, things happen. A boy picks on you and your friends tell you he likes you. People look at your body before they look to your ideas. And because you sing beautifully and look beautiful while doing it, people think you're ditzy. As you can see, this brainstorm must have been brewing for a long time, 20 years of my life. All along, I had been living what my song would be about. The next step involves research and interviews, but I don't mean the kind you need to write a 10-page paper. You're simply looking to better understand the issue that you'll be writing about. And the best way to do this, in my opinion, is to speak to the people who experience this issue themselves. Sometimes as songwriters, we tell our own stories, and the research could mean sitting down with ourselves. And other times, we have the privilege of using our music to tell others' stories. In that case, the research could mean talking to an academic or a nonprofit, but it could also mean talking to a friend or a family member. This is why when I was still missing a verse and the bridge of my song, I shared it with my mom and my roommate. I asked about their experiences and used those to help shape the narrative that I'd been missing. It made me start to realize that this song was far bigger than myself. While songwriting can be a beautiful outpouring of emotions, it helps to approach some parts of it with a game plan or a mission statement, a song plan. Try using one sentence or even a phrase to summarize your song's key takeaway. My mission with this song came to be about uplifting and empowering the stories of girls and women. And while initially I had some form of that song in my head to guide me, it wasn't until many months and performances later that I really understood everything behind that mission. While I recognize that I am privileged not to be a woman who is oppressed or subjected to violence for writing songs like this, I also understand that I am singing about a very long history of society diminishing women. My favorite part of songwriting comes next, the lyrics. After I had let out all my steam with the first wave of lyrics, I had to stop and refine the perspective in order to keep the story going. Who was telling the story, and who was the audience? In this case, I was telling my story. The lyrics are chronological, showing snapshots from a 7-year-old girl all the way to 22. And the bridge pays homage to the generations of women's stories that I can't even begin to tell. I also think about repetition and pattern. Was the most important line or idea the one being heard multiple times? Honestly, it's not about wordiness. Sometimes just one phrase or word is what you need, repeated again and again. And then it all comes back around to storytelling. I wanted some parts of the song to feel naive and puzzled, and I wanted other parts to feel transformative and have authority. I don't want to forget that I'm telling a story because I don't want you to forget that you're listening to a story. And most importantly, it's a story set to music. I'm a songwriter after all, and this step is where it all comes together. I use melody, rhythm, harmony, and instrumentation to convey the story of a song. Think of a song you love. As a listener, what in the music is making you feel a certain way about that song? Is it the funky rhythm getting you fired up? Does the harmony sound really dense and make you thoughtful? In my songwriting, I prefer to use more warm, acoustic instrumentation because it leaves space and silence, and it draws the listeners to the words and the story I'm singing. In the big picture of a work, all of these elements go into telling the story of a song. But my work isn't done if you never hear my song or the story I'm telling. So there's one final step to this process: marketing. Having my song written is just the beginning. The question then becomes, how can I continue the message of the song with you after my 3 minutes and 30 seconds is over? With activism, there are so many of us fighting for the same, similar, or complementary ideas. Who are those people in our community? In all honesty then, the last step of my song is just beginning. I'm seeking out partnerships and ways that I can use this song to amplify existing work that's being done to support girls and women in my community. Before I leave you with my song, I'd like to leave you with a challenge. First, listen more deeply as you listen to music, and teach yourself to recognize the ways that music is already being used as a force for change. Second, if this experience speaks to you in any way, then try to support it or engage with it as a listener, a patron, a sharer of the message. Try the songwriting process yourself. This is a collaborative process, and it involves all of us. We who create, those that teach us, others who strategize, and all of us who listen. We all hold the power to amplify people's stories and lives and rights in these songs. And that is the real power, the power that gives me chills every time. Sometimes songwriting is linear, and sometimes it's not. But I'd like for you to hear where this song ended up. So, here is my frame of mind. "7 years old and he's picking on me. They say that it's just a crush. If he liked me at all, he could see that it hurt when the little things start to add up. Oh, I'm playing by the rules and I'm coming in first. So why did he think I was dumb? I wanna make friends, I wanna fit in, but I just can't keep this act up. Don't talk to me like you wouldn't your mother. Don't play it off like you didn't know. I can be beautiful and powerful and kind, and damn you if you don't that frame of mind. 13 years old and they're looking at me in places that I've yet to find. How come they talk to me different these days when I understood them the first time? Oh, I'm 22 years old, they're still picking on me. They say it's because I sing pretty, and they will still smile and talk highly of me, even when how they treat me is not what they preach. Don't talk to me like you wouldn't your wife or the little one you have back at home. I can be beautiful and powerful and kind, and damn you if you don't have that frame of mind. I'll fight the fight my mama and her mama fought. I'll fight 'cause I don't want to hear my little girl singing this song. Don't talk to me like you wouldn't your mother. Don't play it off like you didn't know. I can be beautiful and powerful and kind. Don't talk to me like you wouldn't your wife or the little one you have back at home. I can be beautiful and powerful and kind, and damn you if you don't have that frame of mind. Oh, why can't we all have that frame of mind? Thank you.